The encounter. The soldier stood at the edge of the clearing, his heart racing. He was on a distant planet, far from Earth. The sky above him was a strange shade of purple, dotted with two bright suns. This place was unlike anything he had ever seen. Tall green trees swayed gently in the warm breeze, and colorful flowers bloomed all around. Yet, something felt off. The air was thick with tension. His mission was simple: to establish peace between humans and the alien inhabitants of this world. But so far, things had not gone as planned. He could hear shouting and the sounds of a struggle nearby. Without thinking, he moved toward the noise, gripping his weapon tightly. As he approached, he saw a group of aliens fighting his fellow soldiers. The aliens looked fierce, their skin shimmering in the sunlight. They were protecting their territory, and the soldier could see the fear in their eyes. Among them was a girl with bright blue skin and long, flowing hair. She was shouting something in a language he didn't understand, but her voice was clear, filled with anger. "Humans are heartless," she yelled, her eyes blazing with defiance. The soldier felt a pang of guilt. He had heard the stories about how humans were viewed on this planet. Many aliens saw them as invaders, ruthless and selfish, but he had come to help, not to harm. He stepped forward, hoping to stop the fighting. "Wait, we don't want to fight," he called out, raising his hands in peace. But the chaos continued. The alien girl turned and faced him, her expression a mix of fear and rage. Before he could react, a soldier from his team charged at her, weapon raised. In that split second, the soldier knew he had to act. Without thinking, he lunged forward, pushing the girl out of the way just as a bright beam of energy shot past them. The soldier felt a jolt of pain as the beam grazed his arm, but he focused on the girl, who looked up at him with wide eyes. "Why did you save me?" she asked, confusion replacing her anger. "Because I don't want to hurt you," he replied, panting. "I'm here to help." The fighting slowed as the other soldiers looked on, surprised by the unexpected turn of events. The alien girl studied the soldier, her expression softening. For the first time, she saw him not as an enemy, but as someone who cared. Suddenly, the ground shook, and a loud roar echoed through the trees. A giant creature emerged from the shadows, its eyes glowing with fury. The soldier quickly realized that they were both in danger. "Run," he shouted, grabbing the alien girl's arm and pulling her toward the trees. She hesitated for a moment, then nodded, understanding that they had to escape together. As they dashed into the thick foliage, the soldier could feel her heart pounding next to his. The bond between them was strange yet undeniable. They were two beings from different worlds, united by a single moment of danger. In that moment, he realized that their fight was not just against the creature or the misunderstanding between their people, but also for each other. As they ran deeper into the forest, the soldier vowed to protect her, even if it meant facing the unknown. The encounter had changed everything, and a new chapter was just beginning. The alien girl. As they raced through the forest, the soldier could feel the alien girl's grip on his arm tighten. Her bright blue skin shimmered in the dappled sunlight, and her long flowing hair whipped behind her like a banner. He stole a glance at her face and noticed her wide eyes filled with both fear and curiosity. "Who are you?" she finally asked, her voice breathless but strong. "I'm just a soldier," he replied, trying to keep his own fear in check. "I'm here to help." They reached a small clearing, and the soldier quickly looked around, ensuring the giant creature wasn't following them. The girl paused, taking in her surroundings. She seemed to regain her confidence, her posture straightening. "I am Kayla," she said, her voice steady now. "I am a warrior of this land." "And you? Why should I trust you?" The soldier sighed, knowing that trust would take time. "Because I saved your life," he reminded her. "And I don't want to hurt your people. I want to find peace." Kayla studied him closely, her bright eyes narrowing. She was unlike anyone he had ever met. She carried herself with a mix of strength and grace. Her skin seemed to glow softly in the light, and there was an aura of mystery about her. The soldier couldn't help but feel drawn to her. "I saw you fighting with my people," she said. "You humans don't care about anyone but yourselves. You come to our planet with your weapons and your machines. I didn't come here to hurt anyone," the soldier insisted. "I came to help, but we need to work together. That creature is a danger to both of us." Kayla's expression softened slightly. She seemed to understand the urgency of the situation. "Fine," she said, "but I will be watching you closely. If you try to harm my people, I will not hesitate to fight back." The soldier nodded, grateful for her willingness to cooperate. "I wouldn't expect anything less," he said with a slight smile. They took a moment to catch their breath, and as they stood together, the soldier began to feel a connection with Kayla. He noticed small details about her, the way her hair caught the light, the way she moved with such fluidity. There was a beauty in her strength, a resilience that fascinated him. "Where are we going?" Kayla asked, breaking the silence. "We need to find shelter," the soldier replied, glancing back toward the direction they had come from. "We can't stay here too long. The creature could return, and I have a feeling there's more danger ahead." Kayla nodded, her expression turning serious again. "I know a place," she said. "Follow me." As they moved deeper into the forest, Kayla led the way with confidence. She seemed to know the land well, weaving between trees and avoiding thick underbrush. The soldier struggled to keep up but admired her skill. "Your people are not like what I imagined," she said suddenly, glancing back at him. "I thought humans only wanted to take. But you seem different." "Maybe we all have more in common than we think," the soldier replied, feeling hopeful. "We both want to protect our homes and the ones we love." Kayla paused for a moment, contemplating his words. "You may be right," she said quietly, "but it will take time for my people to trust you. We have suffered too much." As they reached a hidden cave, the soldier felt a mix of relief and uncertainty. They had found shelter, but they were still far from safety. The soldier knew that their journey was just beginning. He was determined to prove to Kayla that not all humans were heartless, and perhaps, in the process, he would find a connection that could change both their worlds forever. An unlikely bond. As they entered the cave, the soldier felt a sense of safety wash over him. The entrance was narrow, but inside, it opened into a larger space. The walls were cool and damp, and small crystals sparkled in the dim light. Kayla stepped in first, her bright blue skin glowing softly against the dark stone. She seemed at home in this place, and the soldier couldn't help but admire her confidence. "Here we can rest," Kayla said, her voice echoing slightly in the cave. "But we must keep our voices low. The creature could still be nearby." The soldier nodded, grateful for the moment of calm. He leaned against the wall and took a deep breath, trying to shake off the adrenaline from their escape. Kayla moved further into the cave, her eyes scanning the shadows. "Do you have food?" she asked, her tone curious. "We may need strength for what is to come." "I have some rations," the soldier replied, pulling a small pack from his belt. He opened it to reveal some protein bars and dried fruits. "It's not much, but it should keep us going for now." Kayla accepted a piece, inspecting it closely. "What is this?" she asked, a hint of disgust on her face. "It's human food. Not as good as what you might have, but it gives us energy," he explained, taking a bite of a bar. "Try it. You might be surprised." With a hesitant look, she took a small bite. Her eyes widened. "It's different," she said, her voice tinged with surprise. "Not terrible, but not like the fruits from my home." "Maybe we can trade food ideas," the soldier suggested with a smile. "I'd love to try whatever you eat." Kayla considered this, her expression softening. "Perhaps, but only if you promise to be kind to my people." "I promise," he replied, feeling a sense of warmth in his chest. It was strange how quickly things were changing between them. They were once enemies, but now they were sharing food and laughter. As they sat together, the soldier felt a growing bond with Kayla. They began to share stories about their lives. He told her about Earth, his family, and what life was like as a soldier. She shared tales of her home, her culture, and the traditions of her people. "I am a warrior, but I am also a healer," Kayla said, her voice filled with pride. "I help my people in battle, but I also care for them when they are hurt. It is my duty." "Sounds like you have a tough job," the soldier replied. "But it's important work." "Yes, it is," she said, her expression turning serious. "And it is why I cannot let you hurt my people. I will fight to protect them." "I understand," he replied, feeling the weight of her words. "I don't want to hurt anyone. I want to find a way for us to live together." Kayla looked into his eyes, searching for honesty. "If you are sincere, you must show it. Words mean little if not followed by action." The soldier nodded. "I will prove it to you. I will show your people that we can work together." As the cave filled with a sense of quiet understanding, the soldier felt a connection growing between them. They were two beings from different worlds, finding common ground in their struggles and dreams. In that moment, he realized that this unlikely bond could be the key to changing everything. Just then, a distant roar echoed through the cave, jolting them both. The soldier's heart raced again. "We should prepare," he said, standing up. "Whatever is out there, we need to face it together." Kayla stood beside him, determination in her eyes. "Together," she echoed. And as they prepared for whatever lay ahead, the soldier knew that their bond was stronger than any fear. They were no longer just a soldier and an alien girl. They were allies, ready to fight for each other and their futures. Understanding heartlessness. As the echoes of the distant roar faded, the soldier and Kayla shared a moment of silence in the cave. The weight of their new alliance hung in the air, heavy with unspoken feelings and doubts. The soldier couldn't shake the thought that they were standing at the edge of something big. "Tell me more about your people," he said, breaking the stillness. "What do you believe about humans?" Kayla hesitated, her eyes flickering with emotions. "We see humans as heartless," she finally said, her voice steady. "You come to our world with your weapons, demanding land and resources. Many of my people have suffered because of you. I understand why you feel that way," the soldier replied, leaning against the cave wall. "But I'm not here to hurt anyone. I wish I could show you that not all humans think like that." Kayla's gaze hardened. "But how can I believe you? My friends have been taken by your kind. Many of us are afraid." "I know," he said quietly. "I can't change the past, but I can try to change the future. I want to be different." She studied him for a long moment, her expression unreadable. "Words are easy to say. What will you do to show your heart?" The soldier thought about it. "I could help you defend your home. If your people trust me, maybe we can work together to face the threats that come to both our worlds." Kayla's brow furrowed in thought. "If we can win the trust of my people, it will be a start. But you must understand, it will take time. Trust is hard to earn and easy to lose." "I'm willing to do whatever it takes," he promised, his voice firm. "Just tell me how I can help." Kayla nodded slowly, considering his words. "We must gather information about the creature that roared earlier. It is a danger to my people. If we can understand it, maybe we can stop it. Then we'll go together," the soldier replied. "I'll follow your lead." As they planned their next move, Kayla began to tell stories of her people's history, filled with battles and victories. She spoke of their connection to the land, how they respected nature and each other. The soldier listened intently, feeling a sense of pride in her words. "We believe in harmony with our surroundings," she said. "When humans come, they take without thinking of the consequences. That is why we call you Heartless." The soldier felt a pang of guilt at her words. "I can see how that would make you angry, but not all humans are like that. Some of us want to protect what is good." Kayla's expression softened a bit. "I want to believe you. I want to see the good in you. I hope to show you, he replied, feeling a flicker of hope. But we need to focus on the danger first. Once we handle that, we can work on understanding each other better. As they prepared to leave the cave, Kayla looked at him with newfound determination. Together, we can change how our people see each other. We can show them that not all humans are heartless. The soldier felt a sense of purpose wash over him. They were no longer just a soldier and an alien girl. They were allies on a mission. As they stepped out into the open air, he glanced at Kayla. Her eyes shone with courage, and he felt inspired. "Let's do this," he said, a smile breaking across his face. "Together," Kayla repeated, her voice strong. With that, they set off into the forest, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. The soldier knew that they were not just fighting for their own lives. They were fighting for the chance to change how their worlds viewed each other. And maybe, just maybe, they could prove that understanding and kindness were stronger than fear and hatred. The threat emerges. The sun began to set as the soldier and Kayla moved through the dense forest. The air grew cooler and shadows stretched across the ground. Kayla led the way, her senses sharp, her blue skin glowing faintly in the fading light. The soldier followed closely behind, feeling a mix of excitement and anxiety. They were on a mission to learn more about the creature that had threatened them earlier, and he knew it was only a matter of time before they found it. "Keep your eyes open," Kayla whispered, glancing back at him. "The creature is cunning. It could be hiding nearby." "Got it," the soldier replied, scanning the area. The forest was alive with sounds, birds chirping, leaves rustling in the breeze. But there was a tension in the air, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. After walking for a while, they came to a small clearing filled with strange, glowing plants. Kayla stopped and crouched down, examining the ground closely. "Look," she said, pointing at some large footprints. "These belong to the creature. It was here recently." The soldier knelt beside her, studying the tracks. They were enormous, much larger than anything he had ever seen. "This thing must be huge," he said, feeling a shiver run down his spine. "How do we even fight something like this?" "We need a plan," Kayla replied. Her eyes narrowed in thought. "If we can learn its patterns, we might find a way to stop it." Suddenly, a low growl echoed through the clearing, sending a chill through the soldier's body. Kayla's expression shifted from focus to alarm. "We need to hide," she hissed, pulling him behind a large tree just as the ground trembled. The soldier pressed against the tree trunk, heart racing. Peeking around, he saw a massive creature emerge from the shadows. It had dark, scaly skin and fierce, glowing eyes that scanned the area. Its sharp claws dug into the ground as it walked, leaving deep scratches in the earth. "What is that thing?" the soldier whispered, fear gripping him. Kayla's eyes widened. "That is the beast of the shadows. It has terrorized my people for generations." The soldier felt a sense of dread wash over him. Why hasn't anyone been able to stop it? "It is strong and fast," Kayla explained, still watching the creature. "It knows how to use the forest to its advantage. Many brave warriors have tried to defeat it but failed." As the beast moved closer, the soldier's mind raced. They needed a strategy. "What if we lure it away from your village?" he suggested. "We could use ourselves as bait." Kayla shook her head. "That is too risky. If it catches us, we will not survive. We must find another way." Suddenly, the creature let out a roar that echoed through the forest. The soldier's heart sank. "It knows we're here," he exclaimed, adrenaline pumping through his veins. Kayla turned to him, determination in her eyes. "We must run to the village. We need to warn my people and gather more fighters." "Right," the soldier agreed, feeling the weight of responsibility. "Let's go." They sprinted through the trees, dodging branches and leaping over roots. The beast chased after them, its growls growing louder. The soldier could hear its heavy footsteps pounding behind them, each one echoing like thunder in his ears. "Faster," Kayla urged, her voice strong despite the fear in her eyes. They raced toward the village, knowing they had to reach it before the beast could catch them. The soldier could feel his legs burning, but he pushed through the pain. He was fighting not just for his life, but for Kayla and her people. Finally, they burst into the clearing where the village stood. The soldier shouted for help as Kayla called for her people. The villagers emerged from their homes, eyes wide with fear. "The beast is coming," Kayla yelled. "We need to prepare for battle." As the villagers rushed to grab their weapons, the soldier took a deep breath. They were running out of time, and the creature was close behind. Together, they would face the threat that loomed over them. This was the moment that would define their bond and determine their futures. Strategic planning. The village buzzed with fear and urgency as the soldier and Kayla rushed inside. The villagers quickly gathered around, their faces a mix of worry and determination. The soldier felt the weight of their expectations pressing down on him. They were counting on him and Kayla to lead them against the beast of the shadows. "Listen up," Kayla called out, her voice cutting through the noise. "We have little time. The creature is close. We need a plan to protect our village and defeat it." The villagers nodded, their expressions turning serious. The soldier stepped forward, feeling the need to contribute. "We should use the forest to our advantage. The beast knows the land, but we can set traps along its path." Kayla agreed, her eyes shining with excitement. "Yes, we can use the natural features of the forest, pits, heavy branches, and the glowing plants. They can help us distract it." A tall villager raised his hand. "But what if it doesn't fall for the traps? It has been through our defenses many times before." The soldier nodded, understanding the concern. "We need to create a diversion. If we can get its attention away from the village, we can lead it into the traps." Kayla's mind raced as she considered the possibilities. "I can lure it using my speed. I know how to move through the forest without being seen. If I can get close enough to it, I can lead it into the traps you set." The soldier felt a surge of worry. "That's too dangerous, Kayla. What if it catches you?" "I can handle it," she replied firmly. "I have trained for years to deal with threats. This is our only chance." Reluctantly, the soldier agreed, knowing that she was right. "All right, but we need to make sure everyone knows their roles. I can help direct the villagers on where to place the traps." The villagers began to organize themselves. Some gathered ropes and heavy branches, while others set to work digging pits. The soldier watched as they worked together, their fear slowly transforming into determination. He felt a sense of pride in being part of this community, even if it was just for a short time. Kayla moved quickly, showing everyone where to set the traps. "Make sure they are hidden well. The beast is clever and will not fall for simple tricks." As they worked, the soldier took the time to speak with the villagers. He explained how to use their surroundings to their advantage and offered advice on how to fight back if the creature got too close. He emphasized the importance of teamwork and staying calm under pressure. Finally, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the village, Kayla and the soldier stood at the center. The traps were set, and the villagers were ready. "Are we prepared?" Kayla asked, her voice steady. "Everyone knows their roles," the soldier added, scanning the gathered villagers. "Yes," they shouted in unison, their eyes filled with determination. Kayla looked at the soldier, her expression fierce. "Remember, we are fighting not just for our lives, but for our future. If we succeed tonight, we can show our people that humans can be allies, not enemies." The soldier felt a rush of courage. "Together, we can do this," he said, glancing around at the villagers, each one filled with resolve. As the last light of day faded, the air grew thick with anticipation. The soldier and Kayla positioned themselves at the edge of the forest, ready to execute their plan. "Stay close," Kayla said, her voice barely a whisper. The soldier nodded, his heart pounding with a mix of fear and hope. They had prepared as best as they could. Now, all they needed was to face the threat together. With one final glance at each other, they stepped into the darkness, ready to confront the beast of the shadows. The battle. The night air was thick with tension as the soldier and Kayla moved quietly through the forest. The villagers waited in the shadows, hidden and ready. The plan was simple but dangerous. They would lure the beast of the shadows into the traps and fight together to protect their home. The soldier's heart raced as they approached the clearing where they had first spotted the beast. The moonlight filtered through the trees, casting eerie shadows on the ground. Kayla moved like a ghost, her blue skin blending into the darkness. "Are you ready?" she whispered, glancing back at him. "Ready as I'll ever be," he replied, trying to sound confident. He gripped his weapon tightly, knowing that this battle would be unlike anything he had faced before. Suddenly, a low growl echoed through the trees, causing the soldier's skin to crawl. "It's here," he whispered, his voice tense. Kayla nodded, her eyes focused ahead. They both crouched behind a large tree, waiting for the beast to appear. A moment later, it emerged from the shadows, its massive body moving gracefully despite its size. Its dark scales glistened in the moonlight, and its glowing eyes scanned the area, searching for any sign of movement. "Now," Kayla shouted, darting out into the clearing to catch the beast's attention. The soldier held his breath as the creature turned its gaze toward her. The beast let out a deafening roar, its sharp teeth bared in a threatening display. Kayla moved swiftly, darting between trees and using her agility to stay just out of reach. "Over here," she called, leading the creature deeper into the forest. The soldier watched, a mix of admiration and fear swelling within him. Kayla was incredible, brave and determined, risking everything to protect her people. As the beast followed her, the soldier signaled to the villagers, who quickly began to set the traps. They moved quietly, working as a team to prepare for the creature's arrival. The soldier focused on Kayla, making sure she was safe as she danced around the beast, taunting it with her speed. "Keep going, Kayla," he shouted, his voice echoing through the trees. "Lead it toward the traps." With a final burst of energy, Kayla sprinted toward the area where the first trap lay hidden, a deep pit covered with branches and leaves. The beast lunged after her, its claws ripping through the air. "Now," the soldier yelled, and the villagers sprang into action. As the beast barreled forward, it fell into the pit with a loud crash. The soldier and villagers cheered, but their victory was short-lived. The creature roared in anger, its enormous body thrashing inside the pit, trying to escape. "Don't let up," Kayla shouted, her eyes blazing with determination. "We have to keep it contained." The soldier rushed forward, ready to join the fight. He aimed his weapon at the beast, but it was still too dangerous. Instead, he grabbed a heavy branch and joined the villagers who surrounded the pit, ready to strike if it climbed out. Just then, the beast managed to scramble up the sides of the pit, its claws digging into the earth. The soldier's heart raced as it roared, its glowing eyes locked onto Kayla. It was angry and desperate, and it wouldn't go down easily. "Get back," Kayla yelled as she pulled out her own weapon, a sleek spear designed for agility. She stood her ground, ready to face the beast head-on. "Kayla, be careful," the soldier shouted, fear gripping him. With a swift motion, Kayla threw her spear, striking the creature in the shoulder. It howled in pain but kept climbing. The villagers were ready, throwing rocks and shouting to distract the beast. In that moment, the soldier felt a surge of courage. "We can do this together," he yelled, raising his branch high. The villagers rallied around him, ready to fight as one. As the beast finally emerged from the pit, the battle truly began. With a fierce roar, it lunged at Kayla, but the soldier was there, swinging his branch and striking the creature's side. The beast staggered back, momentarily stunned. Kayla seized the opportunity, rushing in with her spear again. The battle was fierce, and the air was filled with roars, shouts, and the sounds of struggle. They fought as a united front, human and alien side by side, determined to protect their home. Together, they would face the beast of the shadows and emerge victorious. Aftermath and reflection. The battle raged on through the night, filled with the sounds of roars and the clash of wills. Finally, with a last powerful strike from Kayla's spear, the beast of the shadows let out one final roar before collapsing to the ground. Its massive body thudded heavily against the forest floor, shaking the earth around them. The villagers stood still, eyes wide with disbelief. They had done it. They had defeated the beast that had haunted them for so long. The soldier felt a wave of relief wash over him, mixed with exhaustion. He dropped the branch he had been wielding, his arms heavy and trembling. Kayla stood over the fallen creature, breathing heavily. Her spear was stained, and her face was smeared with dirt and sweat. But despite the weariness, there was a spark of triumph in her eyes. "We did it," she exclaimed, turning to the villagers. "We fought together and won." Cheers erupted from the villagers, their voices filling the air with joy and relief. They rushed forward, gathering around Kayla and the soldier, celebrating their hard-fought victory. The weight of fear that had loomed over the village for so long began to lift, replaced by a sense of hope and unity. The soldier stepped back, letting the villagers express their joy. He watched as they hugged each other, tears of happiness streaming down their faces. In that moment, he felt a deep sense of belonging, something he had never expected to find on this alien planet. As the celebrations continued, Kayla approached him, her eyes shining. "Thank you for standing with us," she said, her voice full of sincerity. "You fought bravely, and your presence made a difference." "I couldn't have done it without you," the soldier replied, feeling a swell of gratitude. "You led the way and showed everyone that we can work together." Kayla smiled, her expression warm. "This is just the beginning. If we can face such a great danger together, imagine what else we can accomplish." The soldier nodded, his heart filled with hope. "Yes, together we can build a better future." As the night turned into dawn, the villagers began to gather around the fallen beast. They looked at it with a mix of sadness and relief. This creature had been a source of fear, but now it lay defeated, a reminder of their strength. "We must honor this moment," Kayla said, addressing the villagers. "Let us not forget the bravery that brought us here today." They decided to hold a ceremony to celebrate their victory and remember those who had fallen to the beast. As the sun began to rise, casting golden light over the forest, the villagers gathered around the beast. They shared stories of their loved ones and the brave warriors who had fought against it in the past. The soldier felt a sense of connection as he listened to their stories. Each tale was filled with emotion, and he realized how deeply the battle had impacted their lives. They were not just fighting for themselves, they were fighting for their families, their friends, and their way of life. As the ceremony came to a close, Kayla turned to the soldier, her expression thoughtful. This battle was not just about defeating the beast, it was about understanding each other. "We have learned to trust one another." The soldier nodded, feeling the weight of her words. "Yes, and I hope we can continue to build on this trust. Together, we can create a future where humans and your people can live in peace." Kayla smiled, her eyes bright with determination. "Then let us start by sharing our cultures, our stories, and our dreams. This is just the beginning." As the villagers began to clean up the clearing, the soldier felt a renewed sense of purpose. He knew that this experience had changed him, and he hoped it would change his world back home too. They had faced their fears and emerged stronger, united in their fight against darkness. Together, they would pave the way for a new beginning, one filled with understanding, respect, and friendship. A new beginning. The sun rose high in the sky, bathing the village in warm light. The air was filled with laughter and chatter as the villagers celebrated their victory over the beast of the shadows. Colorful banners hung from the trees, and the scent of delicious food wafted through the air. It was a day of joy and new beginnings. The soldier stood at the edge of the clearing, watching the villagers come together. He felt a sense of pride swell within him. Just days before, they had been afraid and divided. Now, they were united, celebrating their strength and resilience. Kayla approached him, her face bright with happiness. "Look at everyone. They are full of life," she said, gesturing to the villagers dancing and sharing stories. "This is what we fought for. It really is incredible," the soldier replied, a smile spreading across his face. "I never imagined I would find a place like this. You've shown me the true spirit of your people." Kayla's eyes sparkled with excitement. "And you have shown my people that not all humans are heartless. Together, we can create a new future." They walked into the heart of the celebration, where villagers were sharing food and laughter. The soldier was amazed by the variety of dishes laid out before him. Bright fruits, roasted meats, and colorful breads. He felt welcomed, as if he belonged to this community. "Try this," Kayla said, handing him a piece of fruit he had never seen before. It was vibrant and smelled sweet. Hesitantly, he took a bite, and his eyes widened with delight. "It's amazing," he exclaimed. "What is it?" "It's a fruit from our land. We call it luma," Kayla explained, her eyes gleaming with pride. "It gives us energy and joy." As they shared the food, the soldier began to talk with the villagers, learning their names and stories. He discovered they were skilled artisans, farmers, and warriors, each contributing to their community in unique ways. They laughed and joked with him, making him feel like one of their own. Later in the day, a wise elder called for silence. The villagers gathered around, their faces filled with anticipation. "Today, we honor our victory and remember those who fought bravely," the elder said, his voice steady. "But today is also about looking forward. We have a new beginning." The crowd erupted in cheers, and the elder continued. "Let us build a future where we stand together, humans, and my people. We have seen what we can achieve when we unite." The soldier felt a wave of emotion wash over him. This was a moment of hope and change. He glanced at Kayla, who was watching the elder with a proud smile. She had helped bring this moment to life. After the elder finished speaking, Kayla turned to the soldier. "You are a part of this now. We want you to stay with us, to help us strengthen our bonds." The soldier hesitated, his heart racing. He thought about his life back home, his family, and his responsibilities. But he also thought about the connection he had found here, the sense of purpose that filled him. "I want to stay," he said finally, his voice firm. "I want to help build this new beginning." Kayla beamed, her happiness shining bright. "Together, we can create a new path. Let's teach each other, learn from one another, and grow stronger." As the celebrations continued, the soldier felt a sense of peace settle within him. He had come to this alien world as a soldier, but he was leaving as a friend and ally. They would work side by side, forging a future where humans and Kayla's people could coexist. The day faded into night, but the warmth of the celebration remained. Under the stars, the soldier stood beside Kayla, watching as the villagers danced and sang. He knew they were on the brink of something special, a new beginning filled with promise and hope. Together, they would build a future where hearts were open and friendship thrived.